Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions go head-to-head against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Riddick. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Jam. Kelly. Don't left. Kelly. No.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. Good move at the 30. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 22 carries, 65 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Hey, 626. Zoom. Jumbo.
Rodgers now on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Hey. 4 down. Kill. No.
On second down, Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Hey, check 26.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is for the moment. The 6th seed is theirs, but it'll take a victory to officially lock that down.
I hear the excitement in your voice about this.
Or nervousness, both ways.
Either way, but you know, I've never met a player who didn't go into a game with a little bit of nervousness and didn't play well. Because, look, if you go in without that edge, and to this game has an edge to it, doesn't it? Then you're really not going to perform that well.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. He swallowed him up. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them. So
working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. Got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. Crosby on now to kick it away. The return man here, T.J. Jones. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. They're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Tag 50, tag 50.
Stafford on 1st down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They go back to Riddick. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that, a good kick. We haven't talked about it much, but the wind is prevalent, and he drove that right into the wind.
Yeah, and don't forget the wind can swirl down there, too, so being able to read it, how it's coming, left to right to left, and to be able to execute that kick, that's pretty darn strong right there.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Zoom, zoom. Hey, check 26. Yeah, Liz.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure.
Let's go, come on.
When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Hey, check 26. Look at this.
Here we go on 4th down with Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Hey. We are going. Hey, check 26. Gun. Hey, check 26.
On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Valdez-Scantling hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And time to spotlight Golden Tate. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
26. Hey.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw is Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Hey.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Here's Rodgers to throw on 3rd down. He's going to let this one go deep. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Over the middle here to Wilson. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, it's Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. To the air again, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Let's go.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start in the NFC North. Minnesota playing host to Chicago up at U.S. Bank Stadium. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. The Vikings looking to move up in the playoff race if they can, as a win would get them to 11-4 with 1 to go. From there, we'll head to Washington. Check out the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Mike Wallace, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Jarvis Landry, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
More now to return. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. A second quarter score from down in Houston. It's the Texans looking good, leading that game to this point. Deshaun Watson, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Hey, easy. Hey, we're not going.
Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Uncle, over here. Get reset. Hey, easy. Shift.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Packers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing. On first down, Stafford here. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And the connection not there. Incomplete. Just 14 seconds down to the final couple of plays here. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Luke Wilson with touchdown number 7 on the year. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up there.
To the wild card round. Remember, the playoffs are single elimination.